Hello, Facebook. How are you today? I felt like popping on live today because we have so much exciting stuff going on. I feel so much more of my own self in body now that, I'm honestly kind of figuring it out. Like, okay, I feel so much more of myself in body. How do we do the business stuff now, right? And those of you spiritual entrepreneurs, people that do your businesses from your soul as well, can probably relate with that. Like every time you go through a massive uncovering or revealing of the next layer of you, you have to like reorient yourself into being in physicality, right? And that process actually never stops. We're actually continuously shedding and continuously incarnating more and more and more of who we are into the physical form all throughout life. It doesn't just stop when you're born and then you're like this singular fixed entity until one day way off in the future when you've had a long happy life you pass away. It's not like that at all. You're actually continuously going through rebirth and healing and remembering and returning to more and more and more truth and soul and God inside your whole life long. So I thought I would pop on live today and just offer what I can and share what I can to support you all in this process. So say hello to me as you're coming on. I always love to know who's here. Always love to see your comments as well. We actually just had a really fun session this morning in Quantum Gold Mastermind, which is my high-level mastermind container for other women or men that are in process of coming into union with their own sacred self, right? And living as their true sacred self that they're meant to be in this lifetime. And it's a soul business container. So the cool thing is that as you birth your true sacred self, as you are like revealed to by God on the inside and then revealed to the world like who you really are, your soul business is just a natural part of that. Like you being you and sharing what you share, teaching what you teach, leading what you lead, guiding what you guide, helping people in the way that you help people, like with your own divine celestial energy and medicine and gifts that you just naturally are as a spirit. And that gets to be monetized. That gets to be a business. You get to create financial wealth, your own financial economy by being you and by fully expressing and by allowing your soul business out. That's actually the way that you're creating your own economy spiritually and financially are really one and the same thing, because the beingness of being all of you is naturally both, right? If you're wired like me, where maybe you always found yourself creating businesses as a kid, or you found yourself always like selling things as a kid, or like I was always making stories and books and songs and dances and lemonade stands and restaurants and like it's always just in me, kind of me being me was also this flowing outward in business forms as well. Like, of course, this is who I am and who I am as an adult. Mid-30s now, very happy. This is what I'm doing. I don't know why I want to say my age, but I guess I do. So the unleashing of being all of you is also the unleashing of your soul business. And if you're not doing it fully, it does hurt. It does create pain emotionally, physically, spiritually, because you're not being fully yourself. I feel that like on a fairly daily basis because I always feel like I can be doing more. I always know that I have more potential inside me than what I've expressed. Good reminder for me too, because I do have days. I have had days where I feel like, wow, I really let it all out that day. I have had the days where my head hits the pillow and I feel like, oh my God, I feel accomplished. I feel like I produced everything I wanted to produce for the day. So I personally need to get back into that more. I need to make sure that I'm letting everything inside me out that wants to come out for the day. Maybe that relates to you too. So it's a bright, beautiful day here in Minnesota. It's like midday right now, so maybe people are outside enjoying the sunshine. But yeah, as you're coming on the replay, just say hello to me. Love to check in and say hi. Of course, if you're interested at all in working with me, I actually have 3 spaces open right now for new private clients. I have a program called Ignite. That's actually a full year of private client work with me. So this would only be for you if you feel like quite a deep, profound spiritual and energetic resonance with me. And if you are, and then of course I would feel that for you too, and you are wanting energy healing on all the levels, just tuning into who this might be for. Like if you're wanting healing on all levels, if you want to have a more clear, healthy, calm, regulated nervous system, if you want to clear ancestral programming, if you're wanting to bring your inner child into more safety and union inside yourself, we can do all of that inner healing work through a year of work together. And if you're wanting to fold in the work with soul business and sacred union with money, that pretty much always is integrated now with the healing work I do with people. Sometimes people come more to me for healing work, right? They know that they have some past traumas that they want to bring fully to completion and they want it out of their system. Sometimes people come to me for that. Sometimes they come to me because they want to heal their relationship with money, or sometimes they come to me because they want to do that, like they might not know this consciously, but they'll be drawn to me because they want to do past life healing, or maybe they have this intuition that there's aspects of their soul caught in a past life timeline and they want to retrieve those parts of their soul and bring them into their sacred union now. We do that work. The way that I work is quite unique in that I see you as a whole soul, and I'm basically shown like where God wants to do healing work with you. I'm always assisting you into deeper union with God on the inside. And so the main way that deepening sacred union happens inside you spiritually is by me helping you see aspects of your inner child that need healing or emotional processing or trauma healing, which can be big, little, or small things, right? It can be spiritual, mental, emotional, financial, all the levels. So then your whole inner child can come into oneness inside yourself. Hi, Jen. So happy you're here. Yeah, just feeling you. So glad you're here. You have such a beautiful spirit. Just talking about like what it means to come into more sacred union inside yourself and how I help people do this. Yeah, and I do actually have some really helpful healing videos on this. So if you're not quite ready for a financial investment in yourself and for your inner healing process, I do have quite a library of free video materials. So you can comment or just send me a message if you have like a specific question or if you want some help on the levels of inner child or soul healing. Just let me know, and I'm happy to. I pretty much intuitively like scroll through my YouTube library that goes back all the way to 2014, and then I pick out like 2 or 3 videos that I feel like energetically will help someone. So it's interesting to compare the levels of soul retrieval work and inner parts work specific to the inner child, because you'll experience that your soul and your inner child are one and the same. You can pretty much use those words interchangeably, soul or inner child, because anytime that you find, heal, retrieve, and recover an aspect of your inner child, that's your soul. It is. I mean, you see how naturally joyful and in union with God children are, right? And the qualities of someone who's in union with God is they're very joyful, they're very happy, they're very blissful, they're not caught up in their head, they're not protecting themselves by being in their mental body a lot, their hearts are just fully open, they're not really thinking a whole lot, they're just being, right? That's the quality of God. That's somebody that's really in their union with God or the divine or source or whatever word you like to use. I know people have trauma around the word God, so you don't have to use that word. It is just a word, right? But it can hold a lot of meaning for people, obviously. That's a beautiful thing to tune into, isn't it? Like people, animals, babies. You'll even see this in people that have dementia and Alzheimer's. Like maybe that's part of what's going on there. Is people that are just in their union, right? Divine sacred union or union with God. They're present. They're just present and they're just being. And these are the kinds of people, not necessarily anybody here, but like these are the kinds of people where they're just in their union. You might feel like, I want that, or I want to feel like that person feels, or you might feel even like some envy or jealousy of a person like that, or just of their joy. And truly, we only feel envy or jealousy of someone when they're embodying a quality or they have something that we're fully capable of having ourselves as well. It's kind of like envy and jealousy are a form of longing. Envy or jealousy are a form of longing. It's just showing you that you have perhaps a dormant part of you that it wants to get activated. It's kind of fun. Fun to tap into. Yeah, and tell me as people are coming on. I always love to hear your questions as well. If you want to ask me anything, or if you're looking for an energy reading, just ask it in the comments. I'm happy to come back around to that and answer them later. I do find jealousy and envy to be very interesting emotions. I used to have tons of shame around feeling the feelings of jealousy, to the point that I have to like go be by myself and cry because I had so much shame around those feelings. So I don't have that anymore, and I more so think they're just like pointing the way or leading the way into what really wants to be uncovered and activated next. Or they're pointing out a desire, they're pointing out a longing for something that the person wants and is always possible, right? You can't desire something that isn't possible. You wouldn't feel the desire if it wasn't possible. So what are we talking about? I feel like I'm just rambling. I came on here today to talk about this pattern that I see in myself at times and in my clients, in most all of the women that I work with, where they have this pattern of giving all their energy away. And it'll also show up in the money relationship of like not being able to keep money and just spending it all, or giving all the money away, or finding ways to get rid of the money that you have. It is the same thing as like getting rid of your own spiritual abundance, getting rid of your own energy. And the origin of that is actually because, if this resonates with you, which it may or may not, but the origin of that is actually because on some level you believe that your own energy is bad. Ding, ding, ding. It's because you believe that on some level that there's something just wrong with you. And even deeper than that, because that's a conditioned feeling, right? No one would actually choose to feel that. No one on earth, no child, and we're all children of God, no one would choose the belief that there's something wrong with them or that they're bad. That is a learned, conditioned, taught survival coping mechanism. It's never true. Definitely not true. It's conditioned by the church. It's conditioned by religion as well. And it gets in there into the money relationship, right? The money relationship is so intertwined with the religion and with the church relationship, I find, and with the relationship with God. The money stuff is all intertwined on purpose as well. It's all purposefully done by the cabal, by the evil elite that have been enslaving humanity and the planet for thousands of years, but is on its way out. It is ending. That's done on purpose to keep humans out of their truth, that they're actually powerful as fuck. It's a conditioning, it's a programming, it's fear-based, it's control-based, it is an enslavement. And certainly there are people that have been enslaved, and enslavement actually on the planet. There's a lot of emotional enslavement as well, a lot of siphoning of human energy and emotional energy. But my point is that all of that has been done on purpose. That all of that's been done on purpose to make humans believe there's something wrong with them, to make them believe that they're not all-powerful, celestial, divine beings, which we absolutely are. It's really not even a big deal to realize that and to know that and to become enlightened or to ascend or to become awakened. Like, don't fall into the illusion that all there is like earth and heaven and hell. Like, please don't believe that. Don't believe that that's existence. It's just earth and this life as a human, and that's all there is. It's not at all. Like, awakening to who you truly are through your human form is a beautiful, amazing thing to get to experience, right? That's part of, the reason that we're here is to go through the inner spiritual awakening process. For those of us that are on our journey back to God. Not all humans incarnated are on that path right now in this lifetime, and that's okay. It doesn't make anybody better or worse than anybody else. But my point also, and my soul loves to talk about this, is that gosh, it's like we've just been through so many ages, and we're coming out of a dark age on the planet, and there's been so much, there's had to be, it's necessary, all the spirituality on the planet, spiritual guides, masters, prophets, this ascending back into truth, into God inside. That journey is absolutely amazing, but we also want to introduce the idea here, and I talked about it on some other lives, that it's also not that big of a deal. Like, we don't want people to think that it's just climbing up that ladder to heaven and then they've made it and then the creation is just somehow over. It's not over. That's not all of who you are. It's not just trying to get worthy of that or trying to prove yourself of that, or, oh my God, maybe I'll make it in 5 lifetimes and that'll be incredible. There's so many planets, and there's so many infinite levels of dimensions, and we're all capable of God realization inside, and there's so many levels of existence beyond this one. And there's some below this, I think. We just don't want you to look at it like, this is all that you are, and it's this super big deal. And no, you actually are a creator. Like, you actually are a being who's creating with her just beingness. Like, who you're being inside is actually what creates your reality and creates your life. If some of the more surface layers, like where you have your personality of this life, where you have emotions and thoughts and beliefs, and then there's going to be some traumas in there in the cells of the body and in the energy field, like that stuff will manifest as well. That stuff will also manifest its mirrored form, so there's so many endless examples of this. But every frequency that you carry in your energy field and in your being will manifest into a mirrored form. It will talk back to you in reality. And there's lots of ways to talk about this, but it's easy to experience that as, as though it means something about you, or as though it means you're good or you're bad, or you're being punished or you're being rewarded, or, most people just think that that's their identity, right? They're just this person, and they have this personality, and their life experiences are just what's happening to them, and they're living in response and in reaction to that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you're so much more than that. Go 2, 3, 4, 5 layers inside yourself deeper spiritually, and you find God, you find your soul, you find your spirit, you find your soul business plans, you find an actually abundant relationship to life, and actually abundant and joyful and blissful experience of just being alive, just like those babies and dogs, and maybe the people with dementia or Alzheimer's, like the people that are just present, like you get to be that too. Or things that you envy or you're jealous of in others, you think how can she or he do that, or how can she or he have that, or they think they just get to be that, and all the ways that our mind might respond to that. But like I was saying, you're only envy or jealous of things that you actually desire and long for in yourself as well, and it's in you as well. It's in you as well. So I would suggest there, if there's something that you really want to be experiencing in your life, you would not have the desire if it wasn't part of your soul path to have it. Decide that you can have it now. Decide that you choose it now. Decide that you choose to embody that quality in yourself now, or decide that you get to have that thing now. There's nothing wrong with anything here on the earth plane. Think of it as a fun, abundant buffet. Just choose whatever you want. Whatever you're drawn to as a soul is your God soul path. It's for you. So choose the qualities that you want to embody in yourself. Create the reality that you want for yourself from the level of God and soul desire, and that's what's going to make you the most happy and the most fulfilled. Choose it, decide it, claim it, write about it. That's how I do my life. I literally spend most of my time just in union with God, and then I come on live in here sometimes and just open my mouth and speak. I'm often I'm just resting and meditating. I do lots of things. But you get to do life how you want. You get to be the real you. If you do want any assistance with your healing process, or with your soul business success, or healing religion trauma, or healing any kind of past life or childhood trauma, ascending more in your union with the divine, all kinds of stuff. If you it's like if you resonate with my energy, right? If you just start to feel something when I'm talking, or you have a feeling or a knowing that you want to work with me, that's the main thing to trust. And we can have a conversation about that in Messenger. I do have spaces open for full year or 3-month private clients. I'm also launching a brand new 10-week live Inner Soul Mastery that's going to start July 9th. And that's for 10 people that want to. So that what Inner Soul Mastery does is we help you find, heal, and retrieve aspects of your soul, which could be inner child stuff or past life stuff. It can even be, this is even more interesting, I think, it can also be higher dimensional stuff, not even human timelines, but a lot of times I help people find and heal and retrieve aspects of themselves from the angelic realms as well. Or I help people find aspects of their soul that are in, do I even want to talk about this? It's like people's soul parts can be being traumatized or used or siphoned in other dimensions too. There are inorganic beings or extraterrestrials, you would call them. I'm like, don't go away. I know this gets weird. But that can be like messing with parts of people's souls, experimenting on them or draining their energy, or experimenting on them. It gets a little bit weird to talk about. But I do help people find and retrieve parts of their soul from that weird stuff too. So they can just have their whole self back, their whole soul back, all their power back. So they start ascending much more quickly. Their frequency goes up much more quickly. Soul business birth occurs there as well. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm going off on all these tangents. But yeah, Inner Soul Mastery, it's going to be a live 10-week program. And normally I do this only in a 1-to-1 container, but my soul, God guided me to do this with a group. So we're doing it for 10 weeks. It's going to be a lot of soul retrieval work, a lot of coming into oneness, wholeness, your union with God inside. We're also going to do the Christ money flow in Inner Soul Mastery. So realizing that your soul actually has financial desires, and healing what needs to heal and surrendering into your soul's real financial desires. The way that my soul leads this is through like obliterating the idea that money is bad somehow, and realizing that the energy of money and the energy of Christ are actually in union. So that's how we do it, through the heart. Union between Christ and money. And the Inner Soul Mastery, the bringing together of all the soul parts. And then what will naturally occur through the 10-week program is the unleashing of your soul business blueprint from your soul, of like your kingdom, your empire, your soul business plans. And this is absolutely you making lots of money, just the way that your soul desires to. So it's kind of like getting all your human stuff, human timelines out of the way, so you can just fully do your life in all areas from soul. That feels complete. That's what Inner Soul Mastery is all about. The cost of that one is $2,222, and we start July 9th. I'd like to have 10 people. I'd like to guide 10 people in that, so just let me know if you want one of those spots. Or anything else, any questions for me. So I think I'm going to sign off with that, and I hope you have a beautiful day.